We're going to start this off with a few disclaimers so we can get this going and be as smooth as we possibly can. First, everyone's opinion is valid to have. I think how much I listen to your opinion is based on how much experience I think you have in the community and with the people around you. You can say something super smart, but if you haven't been in the Alabama scene that long, it feels like not a lot of people are going to listen to you, and I feel like that is fair. That's kind of how I'm going to be viewing it as well. But I'm going to try to listen to everybody and see what they have to say. Two, I don't think I'm going to try to police people's feelings. A lot of these people's comments that I had on the tweet were related to how people should feel and how people should act and how people are should change. There are certain ways that I think if you're trying to go towards a community that's fun and enjoyable and satisfying and exciting, that there are certain ways to act. And I'm going to be leading towards that because that is what I think most people would want, and that's what I want. If your opinion is different from that, then I don't think we should be in the same community, personally. It should be a safe environment, it should be a fun environment, it should be an exciting environment. I feel like that's simple. So yeah, when people are like, okay, you can't tell me how to feel. Yeah, I guess I can't control how you feel, but you should watch how you act because of how you feel. So we're gonna try to act like that. And I tried to use all the comments that I can get as much as I can, and we're gonna just see how this goes. Jesse, I know you wanted me to start with you, so I'm gonna start with you. Let me see. Let me try to get your comments. All right. So, Jesse says, I am an hour and a half from nearly every event and have a lot of responsibilities outside of Smash. I feel like it's nearly impossible for me to get a real meaningful data for myself that is PR qualified, and I've gone through multiple PR wins this season at various tournaments. Oh shoot, I have to find the other part. Let me read that other part. I think I missed the other section Jesse said. Real quick. It's a good thing I have it right next to me. They don't count for more than half the time, and I think I'm moving into the camp of listening what makes something qualify, because everyone is always trying hard anyway. If you want to have non-PR tournaments, just let TOs opt it out. Okay. So, watching wrestling entourage, yeah. I think there are a lot of people in Jesse's position. I think we have a lot of skill in Alabama. It's kind of like why I wanted to do a top 15 PR. But regardless of that, if you want to make the top 10 the elite of the elite, it's kind of hard to make that seem, because there's so many tournaments that have opted that either don't count because they just missed the mark, or they don't have a few entrants or something like that. There is a lot of opportunities we could have if we just made the qualifications not so strict, if it wasn't based on how many PR players showing up, especially when it's a tournament of future PR players. Like there, like that tub that just happened where Bruce won. Let me look at the results again. Yeah, it was Bruce, Jesse, and B-Boss in top 3. Yeah, that had 36 participants. That's a lot of people. Now, really, of this top 8, there's not a single PR player. But I think you'd probably be silly not to call Jesse and Bruce PR, not PR level, because they're PR level, and people know that. I think, yeah, we could have more events, but if we just structure the current events we have in a way that can make people on the PR level have more opportunities, it wouldn't be that difficult. Smash Fest should be more common to bring players closer and to help out people in a fun environment. Tournaments can be stressful, but grinding the game while chilling makes the game more fun. This is a great way to alleviate how stressful it could be to making everything count for PR. We just have more Smash Fests. I know a lot of people worry about having things like weeklies count for PR because they want to have fun without having to be stressed about it, which I can understand. But we have more Smash Fests and people willing to do that, then yeah. Now, I think it's kind of a harder thing to do because now a lot of people don't have a building or a venue to host a Smash Fest. The people who used to do it before don't even have a lot of space. That's why, I mean, I've been hosting like Smash Fest at my place for Huntsville, but I very selectively pick who I want because I want to keep the vibe cheery and nice. And there's some people who don't want that. That's why I'm like trying to be very selective. But if I could like talk to Oakwood and try to get that building again for Smash Fest every Friday or something, that could be fun. Maybe, I think just even talking about it to have more people willing to do it could help. It really could. And we can have more fun that way. All right. While it makes sense for egos to form because of the competitive nature of the game, and a majority of the scene ranging from 17 to 30-year-olds, egos will naturally form, and that's okay in moderation. However, people have to realize that progression isn't always linear. There is no need to have such inflated egos after a handful of tournaments. Then naturally, when they don't perform, they fly off the rails and their mental is crushed. Yes. There's a lot of times, I feel like this is a results-based mentality where I was talking to someone before and they were like, how do you tell you're doing better if you don't do better in tournament? And like, you can literally look at yourself and be like, I could do this combo I couldn't hit before, or I positioned myself right in the situation I didn't before, or I'm reacting to this a lot better, or I can tell their game plan a lot better. That's like things you can do and your tournament didn't change. But I realize that some people don't recognize that. They can't recognize, oh, I got better from certain aspects of the game. Because there's people who can get better at certain aspects of the game, but other people also got better at certain aspects of the game that might have happened and might have mattered more. And it could have been a 2-0, but different. And they'll still be like, well, I still got 2-0'd, even though it's completely different. It's hard to get your results to matter constantly. Because you're going to have bad days. Or bad days. You're always going to have someone else had a better day or played better than you are. So when you build an ego off of results, you're just begging to get hurt, because it's so easy. It's so easy to get fly off the rails, and some people do. But you know, I always go with the fact that if you're going to get into Smash, you have to just realize I suck sometimes, and that's fine. You can suck a day, go to sleep, and you wake up better. You always have the next tournament. You can just suck in one set, and that's fine. You can suck in winners, be godlike in losers, and make the run. That can just happen. If you take every single loss like it means something, or it defines you as a player, I think you're just hurting yourself. We should, as a state, do a better job of taking care of our TOs. The younger players, which whether in age or experience, should just shut up and play the game more instead of having so much input. This goes back to my previous thing. I think everyone has an opinion, but I think people should have more awareness that they don't know what they're talking about. So they should trust the people a little more who've been doing it for a while. I'm not saying you shouldn't go to a tournament and sell your issues, but if you try to tell a person who's been seeding forever, you're seeding so trash, you don't even know what you're talking about. Why is there so much discourse over seeding? Why? It's all about the bracket path anyway. It's like I feel like for like weeks we had people being like, man, every tournament seeding so bad because this person outplaced their seed. Like, isn't that a good thing? Don't you want that to happen? Aren't upsets a good thing? What the fuck are you talking about? People do that to our TOs. I could give you so many people being like, oh man, I was seeded to get 9th and I got 7th. I'm like, who cares? I don't understand. Din's Fire. Din says, defining people by their bracket performances, 0 tours, 2 tours, etc. Okay, so labeling as a definition is quick and witty, I'm sure. And And how bad you are is not how bad you are going to stay or how bad you're going to be in the future. There are ways to take this in a really bad way, like, oh, you're just a no tour, what do you know? Where I think to have this music's too happy about this conversation. Listen, I need to counteract all the salt I'm gonna have. Something an O tour. See, that's the thing. There's ways to take this where it's like, okay, I'm gonna call you an O tour or a 2 tour to get rid of your opinion about this matchup chart, or like, what does a 2 tour know, or some shit like that. Yeah, the real one, I see people use O tour like a slur. It's more about like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about because you're not good enough at the game. There are some aspects where I definitely have thought this. I definitely have thought about, like, when I think about when a Mario player who doesn't do well in their brackets calls me an idiot for saying that Falcon could be even, I'm like, all right, it was fine. Let's relax. But they, you know, I'm like, how much do they really know? But there are things that I think everyone should be paying attention to that a O tour or a 2 tour can say that the top players ignore because they don't care. If an O tour or 2 tour or just regular people don't have a good experience at a tournament, they should be having their voice to say that. But a lot of times, I've run into a lot of TOs that only listen to when the top player says. And most of the time, all the top player has to do is sit out a setup and win in bracket. But like, I feel like the people who aren't in bracket for as long are like, man, once you're out of bracket, there's nothing to do. Or it's hard to watch the tournament. Or the commentary is bad. Or there's food places that suck. Yeah, truly, you also used to say it's truly okay to be bad. And a lot of people don't hear it, I don't think, because it's really true. Yeah, it's more like, if you are bad, it's not a definition of how bad or if how you will be in the future. It's not. You're bad for now. I'm bad for now. In the grand scheme, I'm not anywhere near the way I want to be. But that's fine. But people don't hear that. They just hear the bad. As it, like, I don't know. A favorite type of person is the insanely smart coach that is bad at the game. Well, that is Last. But Last has admitted that. So, yeah. If you're going to define a person as an O tour to say that they can't have an opinion, I think that's wrong. But they are an O tour. That's fine. It's fine to be an O tour. It's fine to be a 2 tour. Just don't say it to say that they can't have an opinion or they're just lesser, because they're not. All of our weeklies should count for PR, especially if people are not going to travel and stay in their city like it is now. We need to give more players more opportunities to win things and show their skill. The worst events to be at are the ones that don't count for anything. Okay, so let's break this down. First, how's it going, Yabi? Good to see you. We haven't gotten to your comment yet, but we'll get to it. I don't know why I say things twice, but anyway. The worst events to be at are the ones that don't count for anything. Sometimes I think when it's a weekly and 40 people play and everyone's trying their hardest and nothing matters, it's a little whack. I love, my favorite events always are when everyone is going crazy. When we have sick game 5 sets and everyone's trying their hardest. We get to see people showcase their new things, new characters, new tech. I love that. I think it's the most fun that this game ever is. I think regardless of Santa Paus's, problems, the sets were amazing, legitimately. Like, screaming in that room, or I don't know, everyone screaming for me against Palkagi was crazy to even see after the fact. But like, screaming in that room for Zurzel versus Anathema was so. I don't care about Rob Minmin, but Rob Minmin in a regional with all my friends screaming and everyone wanting Zurzel to win, hype. Regular weekly when that doesn't matter, no one cares. No one's gonna care for that. Never appreciate being in Tennessee and all the weeklies counted for PR and they meant a low attendance. Yeah, exactly. I don't get. We could set up more hype events and more intense sets and better sets if everything counted for PR. But I know people don't like having to feel the stress every single tournament. But that's why I think if we have the tournaments count for PR and Smash Fests, it could be a great thing. Lotus. Lack of solidarity regarding the responsibility we all share for organizing, supporting organizers, and supporting events. Lots of people take that stuff for granted constantly and are even rude to the people that do put in the time and effort that lets them go to tournaments. I don't want to be a hard ass if I ran a tournament, but people are gross, leaving their food everywhere. The bounty had so many people leave food everywhere. I felt so bad for them. And that's like a simple thing. That's a simple thing of throwing that away. But like, there's so many ways to make a TO's job easier. Bringing setups, that's easy. I mean, it's not super easy for some people, but bringing setups, okay. If you can bring a setup, please do. Just make sure it's not trash. If you could throw away your trash, great. Shower, fantastic, amazing. Why is showering such a problem? I don't understand. That's the easiest thing. You sit there, water goes on you, and you put some soap on you. Like, there you go. At the very least, making bills easier to break. Cool. Bringing cash. If they ask you for cash, great. Don't be like, what's his name? Ray, when he brought all pennies one time. Like, come on. And I see people do, like, bring $100 bill, like, can you break this? The heck? Reporting your matches. Reporting your matches. I had that so much on back row, where I guess, like, people were friends, but, like, I'm trying to run it well, and then people literally, like, oops, I forgot to report it. Oh, I also forgot to report it. I'm like, guys, you gotta keep it going. You gotta keep it moving. I was like, Bro, back throw was out of ones for like 3 weeks not long ago. Yeah. If I waste time showering, I can't lab combos. Spinning. Always on the grind, 24/7. People don't have an excuse in Breham. Literally, Dollar Tree is 3. Yeah, I'm like, okay. There's so many ways to help a TO to make the tournament run smoothly. Let's just do it. Let's, as a community, do it. At the start, shower. You don't. Okay, let's say there's different tiers for it. If you can't bring a setup, fine. You can't bring a setup. But like, even if you could just bring a monitor, or even like your dock and switch, because like, I remember when we were playing with Smash 4, lugging a Wii U around was so annoying. But like, the Switch's dock and stuff is actually not that hard. If people like started bringing extra monitors or bringing extra docks and stuff, yeah, I could see that working. Or just, you know, help out if you see someone, you know, when you're done or you're near the end of the tournament, help pack up. Be nice. It says player skill is defined more by bad losses or poor performances more than it is by their placements in brackets. So, this is very weird. I've always thought this is such a weird thing when people are like, I can't believe blah lost to blah. Instead of the way better thing, good job for blah beating blah. Like, why can't, I don't understand why you can't believe it. That's what gets me. It's like, it already happened. Good job. Like, when Bruce beat Moppin and people were like, how did that happen? What do you mean, how did that happen? I'm very confused. I'm like, yeah, okay, I mean, it happened. Good job. It's sick. But if you're gonna have people at the top, you feel closer to them when you're at the bottom. I guess so. It's kind of like acting like upsets are such a gigantic deal that confuses me. It's more like whenever an upset happens to me, it's like, Great job, that person that upset them. That's awesome. Great run. That was a great one. They beat blah, blah, and blah. And that was their day. It wasn't, oh, man, this person lost to this person and they had such a bad tournament. That's insane and awful. And man, they're playing bad or they're falling off and all. It's like, guys, it's one tournament. Every tournament is going to happen. Every upset's got to be a giant thing. It's more, I feel like upsets are more of a indicative of the person who beat them than the person who lost to them. Because you could always come back from it. Like, Kip has lost to a lot of people, but he's won a lot of tournaments. So it's not that Kip's washed. Just that there are a lot of people who've beaten Kip. And each time someone new beats Kip, it's like the person was playing good. And that's why it's good. It's a good thing. It should be a good thing. But it's always taken as a bad thing for the person who lost. It's crazy. And when at the end of the day, it's like, it's not gonna make Moppin or me or Zurzel any worse. If we lose to someone we were seeded to lose to or not seeded to lose to, it's like, man, that guy's crazy. Good job. That's it. But I feel like people are so scared of getting a bad loss. That's why we have these PR qualifications that we do. Because whenever someone has a bad loss, we act like it's a gigantic deal instead of celebrating or just saying good job to the person and moving on. And that's why, like, it snowballs, because now that person's like, do I even like playing this game? Or do people are going to shit talk me every time or all that stuff? Or I don't know. I feel like it's a snowball that's getting really bad, especially nowadays. Because we have a lot of good players and we get people playing better and better. Like, I don't know. But it also, I feel like it's another people shit talk back losses like it's a cult now. Yeah. It's so weird. If they're trying to know what it is. Yeah, just give him a break. Give him a break. When I lost to Moppin, I was like, man, Moppin played really good. Let me try to figure out that tournament. But when people were like cheered for Moppin, I'm like, yeah, I am a good win. That's a good win to have. He played so good. I was just impressed. The one losses I did mad about is like, I don't know. Actually, I don't think I've been mad about a loss lately. Regardless. I think it's always, it's almost more fun to cheer people on and talk that out the downs. Yeah, just, can we just have respect? Just have respect for the people who lost and stop harping on the fact that they lost. That's it. Congratulate people who win. Good job today. And leave the people who lost alone to themselves. And if they ask, if they're asking for talking or they want to talk about it, listen to them. That's fine. But like, it's just, I don't know. This is going to be policing a lot of people, but a lot of people just don't have respect for others. And they just kind of be like, I don't know. Now, I think the one exception I can understand is when the person shit talks a lot, which is why we're getting to shit talking soon. Because I know a lot of people just like, I don't know, but it's kind of strange. Even though you told common sense here. Just when they lose, let them figure it out. And if they want to talk to somebody, they will. Me personally, whenever I lose, I'm just like, I need time to think about it. OMG guys, Todd lost it. If I lose to legit charge, people need to cheer for legit charge. Because he would have to beat me in matchups I've never lost to in this entire game. And that would be impressive. So Yabi says, too much shit talk, like it's cool people can joke around with close friends, but there needs to be a line between shit talking your homie versus shit talking someone you don't know that much. Alright. First, let's define it. Let's really sit here and define it. Define what shit talk is, alright? Now, if it's a joke, the person needs to know that immediately. And the only way they know immediately that's a joke if you're a friend. That's it. If it's a joke, that's how they know. You can't shit talk and then say it's a joke. Because you're already stabbing somebody with it. It's why people reacted the way they do with Chunky Kong. We don't know Chunky Kong. Even someone saying like, oh, he's just a troll, it's still obnoxious, it's still annoying, and there's still people who on Twitter were like, yeah, Alabama is kind of bad, because they don't know he's trolling. It makes a domino effect of people being stupid. No one says this is a joke, by the way, ever. That's the thing. The people that try to, I've seen a few people try to, but it's like, always after the fact, or after they know it's offending people. It's like they got caught. They're like, okay, no, it's a joke. Like, yeah. Well, let me think. Even like normal times, it's like Birmingham. Like everyone knows. Everyone knows Mwad, Kip, Mex, Scoob. It's like, okay, yeah, they're shit talking for the sake of shit talking. But they don't. I understand when Mwad tells me I'm gonna beat your ass, that he's just jabbing at a fellow rival. And we have that. We only have done that. I've known Mwad for a long time, and we only started doing that recently because we were friends for a long time. But I'm not doing that when someone in a Twitch chat is just talking shit on me. They're not doing that. It's not that kind of thing. We're not close. You don't want to hear him say shit because you never know. And people need to know timing too. Like there's times to do this stuff. The timing's always horrible. Like even if we ignored when Twitch chat's going like, man, this guy was playing so bad, or what were they doing and all that stuff, and they look on it pass, okay, fine. But like during sets when people are currently playing and you're right behind them saying shit, what are you doing? What are you doing? There's chanting, and chanting can be fine. We did lots of chanting at the Bounty. Tennessee versus Alabama, that happened a lot. And that's fine, because both the competitors know they're just cheering for their boy. That's not shit talk. But then when like you're right behind somebody and you're saying how bad they're playing or how annoying it is, that happens a lot at Eplex. A lot. Or forward, kind of. Minimizing accomplishments, I guess. Minimizing accomplishments. I've seen a lot of this. Now, you can choose what you want to be proud of. That is the one right you should have. At least. You should be able to choose what you're proud of. And if you are proud of going 1-2, because you, instead of going 0-2, you shouldn't have someone in your ear screaming that's not that good. Because that's obnoxious and stupid. Let people be proud. I know it's a defensive response whenever someone beats someone else's secondary and then the person gets proud about it, then the person's like, well, you just beat my secondary, or it wasn't my good character. I know that's a defensive response. So whatever. I just think the person who lost shouldn't say anything. People in Huntsville, you should expect Smash Fest a lot more. Expect Backfield to be sick. Expect Hassel to be sick. Crop Circle is going to be fun. Even if we have problems with Eplex, maybe the problems with Eplex can adjust. And even if we get an Eplex in Huntsville, that'd be cool too. Oakwood, I'll try to get something going. Unified Alabama, that's what I'm hoping for. As for the crew battles, I think crew battles are sick, but yeah, it's kind of hard to organize them. I feel like the only way we can make this happen is if it's a multi-day event where we can have that happen. Like, yeah. I don't understand Trash Talk and they want to physically incapable to do it. We'll get to Trash Talk soon. Yeah, crew battle events are so fun, but we need multi-days to do it. We can't do it in one day because the people have to travel so far. If we're doing like something like, or maybe it has to, I don't know. I feel weird when it replaces a whole event like doubles, because that means that only like 10 people at most get to participate in it. And I don't know. But if we have once we get like multi-day events or things like that, like we should organize like Alabama versus Georgia at like MomoCon. That would be sick.